my plan was, as soon as she got the operator on, to explain to the operator what was going on with me. But as soon as the operator came on, I couldn't talk. I was just gibberish. I tried to talk, but nothing was coming out that was understandable. 2019, it was a Sunday, and my wife and I decided to stay home from church because she normally played in the worship band, and she'd been every Sunday playing worship band. We owned our own company, so I was pretty busy too. But this particular Sunday, we both had to be off and together. So we just spent the day together, and we had a really great time, and then we went and helped one of my clients, which actually became a really close friend of mine, and I just called her grandma, right? And we helped her pick the plums off her plum tree. And so the day was a great day. And when we got home, my wife decided she was going to write a letter to our homeowners association. So I said, well, while you're doing this, hon, I'm going to take my motorcycle, my bike, load it into my truck, and go for a ride up the mountains. And that's what I did. And I got to where I wanted to ride. I took my motorcycle out and looked at my odometer. And at the 4 mile mark of my ride, Holy Spirit told me to go home. It's time to go home. And I'm like, I just got here. I don't want to go home. Then he said a little bit more forcefully, no, it's time for you to go home. So I listened. At that point, I turned around and went down to my truck, loaded my bike up, my motorcycle, and drove home. I got home and I had a thought to put my motorcycle away. He said, no, just go in the house. So I listened again. I just went in the house, walked into, through the living room, into the dining room, which is just one big room, right? And my wife had finished writing that letter to the homeowners association. And so she wanted me to read it. So I sat down, because it's still on the computer. I sat down at the dining room table and started reading this letter she wrote to the homeowners association. And I'd gotten like halfway through the first paragraph. So I've been home maybe a minute and a half, and my right shoulder starts tickling. Like if you've ever pinched a nerve, that's what it felt like. So I'd pinched the nerve before and just shook my arm, and it went away. And I started shaking my right arm, and the tingling wasn't going away. It was actually getting worse. I don't know. It was like, so I really started vigorously shaking my arm, and it just wouldn't go away. So I stood up from the dining room chair, and I walked into the living room, just really shaking my arm. And then my right leg starts doing the same thing, tingling, right? And I looked at my wife. She's in the kitchen. I said, babe, something is wrong. Call 911. And so she's looking at me. Through me, looking over the top of me, and she goes, I see nothing wrong. And so just to give you a little back at that point, totally physical every day. I was a triathlete, trail runs in the mountains of Montana. So like I was at the top of physical fitness, right? So she's like, what's wrong? And I said, my right side is going numb. Something's wrong. Call 911. So she came over and grabbed me by my upper arms, set me back down at the table, and she called 911. My plan was, as soon as she got the operator on, to explain to the operator what was going on with me. But as soon as the operator came on, I couldn't talk. I was just gibberish. I tried to talk, but nothing was coming out that was understandable. So I stopped talking. And at about that point, I lose control of my bladder, and just shortly after that, I was like draped over the chair. I couldn't even sit up. And she was directed by the 911 operator to hold my head up so I could breathe, right? The first people to respond were the EMTs from the fire department, the volunteer fire department. And when they got there, they picked me up out of the chair and laid me on a stretcher in the living room to wait for the ambulance. And that's when God literally talked to me. And he said, told me three things. He goes, first, you're going to be all right. And then the second thing he shared with me was more like a video or like a vision of what was happening to me. So I knew what was happening to me, but I couldn't tell anybody. And some of the things I was going to go through. And then he said, the third thing, he said, there's going to be a lot of people come to me.
Thank you so much for watching this clip. If you want to see the full interview, just click on the video on your screen right now or check the description below for the link. I'll see you there.